All right, so let's just talk about this real quick, so I understand how it works. So the metals you saw the gutters have dents in them. You saw that. You saw that
Yeah.
the down
Yeah, it
some.
looks like the stuff. Yeah, the evidence there, that evidence shows it's less than the size of a pinball. It's somewhere smaller diameter than that.
The reports are
There's a fairly
the reports show over 2 inch hail hit that area, and
Yeah,
all.
and so yeah, but there's no evidence that that size stone hit that roof. If a 2.25 inch hail size stone hit that roof, there'd be missing granules. It would show up. I have looked at roofs before that had that type of impact. And it's missing. There are blemishes. We know that it's there. There's no evidence of that. So they may have recorded up to that size. It may not have been a very dense storm. There may have been a couple of them here and there, but
So what about all the vents that are completely?
Sure, the vents. Yeah, the vents. I mean, the vents show that there's a pretty dense storm that came through there. Again, the size of stone that's shown there. It's smaller than golf ball. It's smaller than pinball.
All right, so you're just to make sure I understand. You're saying that the hail came through, it was big enough to dent the vents, dent the gutters, dent the downspouts. It was. Did you check the shed on the Lee Avenue house and see the dents?
Yeah, I saw that. They confirmed the same size hailstones that I saw in the soft metals.
I mean, do you consider that to be damaged? The shed?
No.
So all those dents
It didn't fracture the metal. It did not fracture the metal. It didn't break it. There's nothing. That roof's going to function fine.
I mean, do you understand that the functionality is not what's covered under the insurance policy? I mean, do you?
I don't know that. I don't know. I watch your video. I know where you're going to this. It's a very, very clever video put together. But it's I look at it from the engineering perspective, and that's what I record. Again, if there were blemishes, if I found blemishes in the shingles that indicated that there were hailstones that hit that roof, the size of what has been recorded in the area,
But
and if there were blemishes that corresponded to what hit the soft metals, if they had removed granules, I would have documented that. But it's not there.
Just go back real quick. Real quick.
Yeah.
You just said that you saw the dents that are in the shed roof. You saw that, but you don't consider that damage. I mean, like, how is that? And then you pass that off to Farm Bureau, and then they deny the claim with your report because they say it's not damaged. But the thing is, you don't have an obligation to read the policy because you're not licensed to do it, but they do. But how do they use your report saying that it's not damaged when it's damaged? Because a little ding, just a small little ding. Imagine if that was your vehicle. If that was your car that looked like that, would you consider that damage on your vehicle?
It's in a car policy.
Well, I'm just saying, just say it was. I mean,
no, you can't. We can't talk that way. You know that. I mean,
it's the same cover. It's the same definition.
Policy is very different than the property policy.
They're both the same definition. The damage in both of them is the same definition: direct physical loss. I mean, how is it different?
I mean, I think we're talking about two different things. I mean, again, an auto policy is totally different than the homeowner's insurance policy. So I don't think we can't compare.
So if it's got dent,
good argument.
If I'm saying if it has dents all over it, direct physical loss, it's different than it was prior to the storm. It's not damage on a shed, but it's damage on a roof. How is that different?
Well, I mean, is your roof gonna? I mean, is that metal gonna leak? Is that metal gonna shorten its life?
If your car has dents all over it, is that gonna leak? I mean, what's the difference?
It's a difference in auto and home. I mean, it's there's no really.
Well, I'm asking you to explain to me what the difference is because
the point of your roof is to keep the roof from leaking and to protect the quality of your home. So it's not going to leak, unless we're somewhere or in an area, that has a known chemical issue where it's going to degrade that metal. If water's going to collect in that low spot, it's going to degrade it, which we're not. We're just not in an area where that's going to affect it.
I mean,
that little ding is not going to shorten the life of that roof.
It doesn't matter. Based on the coverage. I mean, what I'm saying is just cosmetically, it's different. Cosmetic damage is covered under an insurance policy unless there's an exclusion.
I don't know that. I don't know that.
But don't you think that when?
And I'm not been asked to assess cosmetic impacts.
But that's my
I've
point.
been asked to look at it from a structural standpoint. Structurally, that roof is intact. That roof has not lost any water shedding capability. Has not shortened its life.
So don't you think? I mean, I'm just asking you from a professional point of view. Don't you think that that's kind of crazy that you're not asked for that, but that's covered under the policy, and then they're going to turn around and deny the claim based on your opinion, based on what you're asked to look for, but what you're asked to look for is only 20% of what's actually covered under the policy. I mean, don't you think that that's kind of?
I mean, I'm a homeowner, and I understand how it works. I understand how policies work. I understand the language in it. You know, depending on what I pay for, you know, I may have more exclusions or less exclusions, and that's something that people pay for, people select, and choose to do. And so, you know, everyone's different. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, I understand that, but what I'm saying is if you look at that shed, you see dents all over it. There's no difference.
And there were a couple. I mean, there weren't like it wasn't like all over.
I got pictures.
Impacted the way that soft metal. I mean, I saw it. You know,
Yeah.
It's chalked. I chalked it. You know, so.
That's not, to you. That's not damage. Like what would
No,
cost?
I mean,
What would cost?
shed-
What would cost?
for metal of that gauge, you're talking about probably a softball, you know, size hailstone having to hit that to fracture it.
So in order for it to be damaged, it has to be fractured.
Yeah, because then it's burst and it's leaking.
So in order for a damage to be existent, it has to be coming. The water has to be coming through, be able to come through. It
From a
doesn't.
structural standpoint, you know, for it to not be functioning anymore, it would have to be fractured.
Okay, but as far as non-structural, without the structure part of it, is there damage all over the place up there? If you were looking at it cosmetically.
I mean, that's beyond my discussion. That's beyond my discussion.
Okay, if that was a car, last question. If that was a car,
I mean, you're trying to. No, you understand? You're trying to talk me into something that I'm not at liberty to discuss. That's beyond my scope of services. That's beyond my purview.
well, I mean, here's my problem. If the insurance company pays you to go out there, instead of paying a valid claim, they pay you to go out there, and this is a serious question, and I'm not trying to be argumentative in any way. I'm just trying to discuss this with you. But if they pay you to go out there and give an opinion that they can use to in order to determine whether or not to pay a claim, wouldn't it make sense that they would give you the criteria that the claim is based on? Because if you
Let me ask you this. One, are you recording this telephone conversation?